Please, I move like the wind, can't catch this breeze, freeze. Stop you in your tracks, there's not no preseason. We seeking W's like Tupac used to throw up. Forget it, might as well forfeit, your team shouldn't even show up. What you wanna be when you grow up? They used to ask me. Naturally, I chose an athlete. Competition never matched me. We ain't go together like camouflage and polka dots. Focus on your position, just know your spot. Sure, don't stop, it's a long season. They planning on winning for the wrong reasons. Trying to get my number retired, can't let these frauds beat us. I figured out the recipe, never let opponents get the best of me. I'm focused on my legacy.
I need that. Big chips, man, I need that. Hustle hard on the job, you can see that. On my hit is real good, we don't need your feedback. They clear the way with my crew coming through. What I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. What I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. Now what I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. Yeah. The beats, leave it in the street, case on the news.
Ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? Are you ready? Get ready, dog. This be the green light, go. Tires burn the pavement. People want to know where Mace, Poss, and Dave went. Still here, still in your ear with a style so high.
All right, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Baltimore Ravens and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Justin Tucker set to boom this one away, and we are underway in the final game of a busy Sunday. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. First carry for Raquel Armstead. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Second and 9 now. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 39. And they will finally stop him, but a great return. Gets that football all the way down to the 16-yard line. Well, certainly not how he wanted to start his night. First throw of the game, an INT.
Yeah, it's not easy, but he's got to try and wipe that one away from the memory banks. And let's face it, it's not often a quarterback and a defensive back have a lot in common. But one thing, because they have these individual type plays, they've got to have short memories, don't they? DB gets beat, wipe it away, quarterback throws a pick, has to do the same thing.
He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
At the 16-yard line.
Set, ready.
They'll try the right side with Henry. And maybe Shane's in the steel curtain here as the Steeler defense drops him behind the line again. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here. A little eager there coming in from his outside linebacker position.
You think the hard count got him there?
Yes.
Maybe that extra that extra emphasis on it got him to jump, and they picked up 5 yards.
And they still need 6 yards here on 3rd down after the penalty. Now it's Jackson. Dancing to his left. 5 yards that time out of the scramble. But now they're looking at a 4th down situation.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
And Tucker's kick right there. It's good. And the Ravens strike first at 3-zip. In the end, the opening drive, Charles, does yield points. Maybe not the touchdown that they wanted, though.
Yeah, but bottom line, they wanted to get something out of that drive, and they did that. 3 points, they won't turn that down at all.
The Steelers take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. Now King to throw on 2nd down. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line.
And the big guy catches the ball out of the backfield, and oftentimes it's quite a surprise to the guys playing defense because not ordinarily thought as a pass catcher, it often works when they decide to dial it up.
First carry for James Conner, and he's going to have the first down at about the 38. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
We all love to have a home run hitter in the backfield. Guy can take it the distance. But in short yardage, trying to pick up first downs, that big guy, oh, he's a nice luxury to have, isn't he?
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Right back to Conner here on 1st. And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
On 2nd down, it's Conner trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation.
Let's go. Pittsburgh. Hey. 4 down.
Here's King on 3rd down. That'll be taken in there by James Washington. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. A Steeler first down on a pickup of 11 yards.
But give the defensive guys a little bit of credit. They didn't let the deep ball beat them on that play, did they?
No, the drag, that guy can be your safety valve. We saw it right there.
Yeah, and it picked up a first down for them, too.
So in Raven territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. And now this throw complete to Washington. That will go as a pickup of 7 on the 7th play of the drive.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule.
Hey, watch the slant.
King looking to throw on second down. And incomplete. He tried to leave it underneath. Nearly got picked. They may be lucky to have that one back. Third down.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. The 8th play of the drive coming up. It's 3rd and 3. On third down, it's Conner. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. It's a pickup of 3, but it brings up what will be an interesting 4th and 1. On 4th down, here comes the Steeler punter Jordan Berry to kick it away. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away.
The Ravens take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. Call it about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up.
A 3-yard gain on the play brings up 3rd down.
Ready, ready. Go to base. Check 55, Mike. Hey, here we go. Watch the pass. Watch the pass. Watch the ship. Watch the ship. Hey, watch the ship. Watch the ship. Okay. Yeah. Switch now.
From the gun, it's Jackson. Being chased out left. And he finds Safarian Jenkins. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. On first down, Black. And he'll get this one across midfield and down into Steeler territory. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short. 8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. To throw is Jackson. He sets to fire deep. Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Andy Isabella, his 6th touchdown of the season as the Ravens push further out in front. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and the lead grows to 10-0. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This will be taken to the back of the end zone.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And things haven't started so well for this side. 2 drives, 2 punts.
So now you've got to start looking not just at play calling, but which guy's going to step forward and say, okay, let's get this thing done. Because within that unit of 11, sometimes one guy can make a big-time play and break through the barrier.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
At the 26-yard line.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26.
Ricky. Check.
Looking to throw. King. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however, and let's see what that's about. So they saw the contact before the ball arrived. Penalty flag for pass interference.
And trying to avoid pass interference is so difficult. You're trying to slow down these skilled receivers, and somehow, some way, they make plays on the football, and sometimes you're there too soon.
No room to be had there on the first down run as he's lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Now this time he'll look to throw. He rifles one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And just shedding him off there. And he will score. Touchdown, Baltimore. And on that one, with 6 defensive backs, did he need to be more careful throwing the football? I mean, I guess obviously in hindsight he did, but...
Yeah, hindsight, but even in foresight, when you got 6 defensive backs on the field, you just know you're going to get multiple coverages. You're never sure what you're going to see. But the biggest one is you don't have much reaction time for your receivers to go get the football because those guys, they're the best cover guys on the field. They go get it. And on that play, they took it the other way for 6 points.
Let's go,
at their own 25-yard line.
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Tight end right. 4 down. Hey, box drop.
Now it's the backup Rudolph. They'll find Juju Smith-Schuster. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 11 yards there, first down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Going with Armstead, a first down carry. And he'll muscle his way up to the 43 for a pickup of right around 5.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
On second down, Connor looking for space. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they've bottled them up throughout the game because that was his longest run of this contest.
Ready? 59, Mike. Check, 59. You don't want it. Go. Keep him.
On first down, Rudolph keeps himself upright. And a big loss here as he's taken down.
3 scores down, not even a halftime yet. They're not getting much generated offensively. They've got to figure it out.
It's tough because this defense just seems to be playing with so much confidence right now.
They really are. They are on their toes, and they're getting at them.
After the sack, they're staring at a challenge basically from the other side of town. It's 2nd and a country mile. Out of the shotgun, they'll run with Connor. Just a pickup of a yard there. That won't help too much. They're left with a 3rd and forever now.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. On third down, Connor, and he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. That winds up being a 4-yard loss and leads to fourth down. Here's Jordan Berry now, as he'll kick it away for the second time. This is taken at the 18. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Ravens, they'll take over. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive.
This is caught at the 20. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Marquise Brown with touchdown number 8 on the year. As the Ravens push further out in front. Not a whole lot to recap on that drive. Just one play, 75 yards to the house.
Yeah, it's a long way to go. And remember, rarely is it a straight line 75 yards, too. Got to have a little extra in there. So whatever the final number is, a well-deserved seat on the bench, a little oxygen if he wants it as well.
First and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. Typically down to the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive, but they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. You've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time, first half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion of the sheet that says big-time plays, specials, anything you can use to get yourself back into it.
So the face mask puts them in even better shape than they were in, as they'll have a short field here on 1st and 10. Here's Connor. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
If they want to start getting back into this game, it behooves them to get better on first down.
Yeah, certainly not what they were looking for there out of the opening play of this drive.
70, Indy. Hey, seam 6, seam 6. You can't block me. You can't block me. You can't block me.
On 2nd and 9, Rudolph. Oh, he's trying for Smith-Schuster, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Tavon Young. And he'll get this back to the 32-yard line.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
They'll start on the ground. It's Derrick Henry. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
And he's going to take this all the way down to the Steelers' 33.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30.
Watch safety creep. Watch safety creeping. Safety's creeping. Hey, watch it. Watch it. Hayward. Mike's 50. Your track.
Jackson. Forced out to his left. He'll run it. And inside the 20 before he's brought down.
Get ready.
So we have reached halftime here with the visiting Ravens out in front. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. The Ravens ready to receive it, and they've got the lead as well as we resume play in the second half. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line.
At their own 26-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively.
At the 32-yard line.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. They'll run it again with Henry. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 12 yards there and a first down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. They'll run on first down. It's Black, and he'll only get a yard, maybe 2, up to the 46.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Heavy on the edges.
Play action. Now Jackson. Now he'll escape to his left. And he fires one that's intercepted. It's Devin Bush, the linebacker, who picks it. Andy Isabella was the intended target. They needed a break. They needed to make a play here in the third quarter. Defensively, they did that. Now they got to go quickly and get some points on the board.
And the best part is that they made their own break. Taking the ball away. Now they just look at their offense and saying, guys,
let's go.
Come on, capitalize on this one.
Ready.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. Looking to throw on second down. Rudolph nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in third and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
Now the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Third down, it's Armstead. And they finally take him down, but not before he reaches the 43. A big gain there on 3rd and long. 44 yards on the ground.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 43-yard line.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. On 1st and 10 is Conner. And they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues. Give him maybe a yard, quite the opposite from the previous big gainer.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Set, ready? 30 base.
On 2nd and 9, Rudolph. He'll find Smith-Schuster. That's complete. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 25-yard line.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection.
Ready up. Recon, 132 fighter.
And let's pin the mirrors back and go full strength.
Roll out. Snap.
On first down, it's Conner. And give him about 3 as he gets it down to the 22-yard line.
You got it.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
Sam off.
Under 10. 10.
Again, it's Conner. A 1-yard gain there following the 3-yard pickup on first down.
You know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play.
Hey, Charlie.
Throwing on 3rd down, here's Rudolph. Yeah, that one's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Trying to get their tight end involved finally. That's the first time that they've looked his way. He's kind of been a forgotten man in this offensive scheme.
Yeah, it didn't look his way at all in the first half, and I'll bet you the offense coordinator made a note at the half and said, let's get him involved because he can be a big-time playmaker for us.
So on 4th down, the Steelers call on the number of Chris Boswell for the field goal try. This will be, 38 yards out. Boswell's kick is good. And they get a little bit closer here as the lead's down to 3 touchdowns. So the scoring drive encompasses 9 plays, and the net result, 3 points.
Take your disappointment and put it aside. 9 plays, yeah, they want to end up in the end zone with a touchdown. I get that. But sometimes those 9-play drives pay dividends later with another 9-play drive that culminates in a touchdown when they wear down a defense.
Come on now, let's go.
1st and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the 3rd quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive? And Jackson cannot get away, and he'll go down. Cam Hayward, always a force, got back there for the sack. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it, but it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
11 yards is the gain on the keeper there, but now it's third down.
Well, partner, for a few years there, we thought this read option play was going to take over the whole NFL. It seemed like everyone was using it, but it has been scaled back considerably in the last few seasons, mainly because people are worried about their quarterbacks getting hit. But when you call it at the right time and you use it properly, you see the type of gains you can get. A nice chunk of yardage there by the quarterback.
Let's go now. Gives it 15. Check Mike 15. Hey, watch the ball. Watch the ball. Shit.
On third down, Black. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up fourth down.
It's now fourth down.
One quarter remains here on a Sunday night. And that'll do it for the end of the second quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. The Ravens send their punter out now. Always a good sign when your first punt comes in the fourth quarter. And this will be taken at the 13. A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And the Steelers will go on offense here, first and 10. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6.
Hey, let's get in that hole. Hey, lock it. You got tight right there.
On second down now, it's Connor. And a nice gain there as he'll be taken down just shy of the 20. 5 yards will get them back to the original line of scrimmage, but now they're looking at 3rd and 10.
Ready? 18 Gator. Leo. Man, I got you. Check 99. Check 99. Jim. Ready.
They stay on the ground. Here's Connor again. And he'll get this to the 23, but that'll be well short of what he needed. 4 yards on the pickup there, but it's going to take him to 4th down.
Well, the guys who are paid to make the tackles deserve some kudos there, but I think they deserve even bigger ones because in that situation, they had to be thinking pass. Loosened up defense, going to pass coverage. Instead, maybe they surprised them a little bit running the ball, yet they rallied to it and stopped them well short of a first down.
Here's Jordan Berry now as he's on to punt for Pittsburgh. This is away and a very good kick angled for the sidelines. And they won't get a chance to bring this one back. It goes out of bounds back near their own 20.
At their own 21-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Now, the previous drive they punted, but that was just the first time they've had to do so in this game.
And when they turn on the game film, the coaches will rant about this, right? They'll say, oh, God, we got to move the ball, guys. We can't punt the ball away. But they have to keep smiles off their faces because that's the first time in the game they've had to do so. They've moved it quite well. They'll overall be happy with what they've seen.
At the 27-yard line.
Check 52. It's great. Check. Alert 3. Switch.
Again, it's Henry. They'll only get a couple up to about the 30.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
The Ravens on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down. The Ravens send their punter out now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. He gets this away. It's a good one, drawing toward the sidelines. Yeah, this punt will go out of bounds. I think it'll be inside the 25, and it will. Right at the 24-yard line is where they'll spot it. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
4 down, 4 down.
Again, a run with Conner. And again, he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. Carl Joseph up from his safety spot to make the play. His carries tonight, they're getting up there, so maybe one of those every now and then is understandable.
I would agree with that. Understandable every now and then. Sometimes you come back and you fake it to him and go play action. But other times you say, okay, they got him on that one. We'll come back to him in another carry.
On 3rd down, Conner. And he's not going to sniff the 1st down here. He stopped at the 25. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave him with a 4th down.
One advantage having an elite guy in the middle of the defensive line because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, but he can also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
Here's Jordan Berry now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. Averaging 50 yards a boot so far as this one's away. No returning this one. It sails out of bounds, and they'll spot it right at the 20. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage. The big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. And no doubt what they're looking to do is just salt away the final couple of minutes and escape with a win. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he takes it down deep into Pittsburgh territory. A big play there on the catch and run. 63 yards.
1st down, Baltimore.
A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a 1st down in the red zone. Boston Scott, his 1st carry. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. The pickup goes for 13 and sets him up 1st and goal.
Brandon, sometimes it just comes down to the power of suggestion because I know exactly what they said all week long. We're coming off the open week. We'll have the fresher legs in the 4th quarter, and they will wilt when we get to that point. And right now, it appears that they're thinking that exact thing.
Yeah, offensively, they had the bye last week. Defensively, did not. Is that really a big factor? Is that more talk during the week?
I think the more that you talk about it, the more that you emphasize it, the more sometimes it comes true for your team.
Brings up 2nd and goal at the Steelers.
From back at the 4, here's 2nd and goal. They'll give Henry another shot. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage.
Tonight's final
So the final seconds tick away in this Baltimore victory. And it was a bit of a strange game. They were held scoreless through the entire second half, but their first half output, that's enough to carry them to victory.
And that's an odd game to watch, isn't it? Because when we saw the output in the first half, you think to yourself, okay, they've got something working here. They know what they're doing. They'll continue that along. But instead, it's goose eggs in the second half. Fortunately, enough of a cushion and enough defense to carry them home.
So for the Ravens, the win will move them to 7-2 now on the year, and they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for Pittsburgh, they suffer their 4th loss so far, and they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin.
Honey, I dash, got it on smash, put on the gas, I will not crash, they will not stop me, tenfold, copy, end zone, watch me, celebrate, I'm cocky, I do my dance, no man up, man, oh there with the hands, thought he could guard me, I ruin they plans, I do what I want, they do what they can, got it on smash, put on the gas, I will not crash, honey, y'all dash, 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 yeah. They can't get into the lack of the stamina. Way too advanced to be playing with amateurs. They on attack when they tackle like damager. They react and play it back on the camera. Hot boy, just consider me flammable. Sure shot, I got all the intangibles. Need a leash, I'm a beast, I'm an animal. Eat the competition up like a Hannibal. Know the game like I wrote up the manual. I do weekly what you do on the annual. MVP, that decision unanimous. Hit dials, I don't think they can handle it. Battlefield, it's just me and my warriors. Guaranteed we emerge victorious. Years, blood, sweat, tears, is glorious. I remember when they always ignoring us. Dash, got it on smash, foot on the gas. I will not crash, they will not stop me. Tenfold, copy, end zone, watch me, celebrate, I'm cocky. I do my dance, jump in the stands, no man up, man, oh there with the hands, thought he could guard me, I ruin they plans, I do what I want, they do what they can, got it on smash, put on the gas, I will not crash, honey y'all dash, honey y'all dash, honey y'all dash, honey y'all dash, honey y'all dash. They slept on the team that they owe me. I need a ring and a trophy. I say I'm the best cause I am. It's no need in keeping it low-key. I can carve up the D like a turkey or run straight through the D like a train. This year we ain't taking no losses. It's all about making the game. I hear a lot of trash talk. He call himself making a name. I put on the Jets. The coach will regret even letting them stay in the game. Team morale took a tumble. Next time be humble. I'm the lion in the jungle. You just try not to fumble. Rumble, young man, rumble. Never slip nor stumble. I take off, poof, man.